Bail or jail, forgetting fairness continues. Here again is Richard French.
Welcome back. Behind me is the intimidating Rikers Island jail. That's where correction officers keep watch over thousands of prisoners every single day. Now, we all know there are people who frankly belong there. Some, they've committed heinous crimes for which bail is not an issue and probably never should be. They will spend no more than 1 year at Rikers before being transferred to a state or even federal penitentiary. But this is not a report about any of those types of alleged felons. This instead is about those accused of minor crimes in a system that can and does sometimes use bail as a way to keep many poor and minority petty offenders sitting in jail, whether they belong there or not. The fight to change jail and bail as we know it in New York is nothing new. As far back as 40 years ago, as reflected in this old New York Times story, the Legal Aid Society was working to change the bail provisions of a criminal justice system. The man prominently displayed in this photo at Legal Aid headquarters in Lower Manhattan is Stephen Banks.
The system works almost as if we're in Alice in Wonderland and you get sentence first, trial second, because the system works if you can't afford to make bail, you remain in jail even before you have that fundamental right in our judicial system, which is to have your day in court.
This 34-year-old, we'll call Antonio, has been in and out of Rikers on minor offenses a half a dozen times. Very few will likely find him to be a sympathetic figure. Still, he knows firsthand the hardship that young, often minority, non-career criminals face when locked up for minor offenses with low but tough or impossible to meet bail. In his case, and many others, the hardship, it crosses generations.
Most of the time, these individuals don't have the money to pay at all. Maybe their families might not even have it. And in a lot of cases, it's a lot of youth, like young kids, 16, 17, who still live with their grandmother. What can she do?
On a daily basis, our staff see cases in which people can't make bail, and for economic reasons, having nothing to do with the merits of their case, they're sent to Rikers Island.
In his February address to lawmakers in Albany, Chief Justice Lippman, he made the same case. Using unusually strong language in an address that often fails to make much news, the Chief Justice, he used blunt language to drive his point home.
More than simply being unfair, incarcerating indigent defendants for no other reason than they cannot meet even a minimum bail amount strips our justice system of its credibility and distorts its operation.
So we've heard here from leading authorities when it comes to this and people that have been affected personally as well. Now, when we come back on this special report of RFL, we're going to hear from the internationally renowned group Human Rights Watch. They weigh in with some withering words when it comes to bail and jail in the Empire State.
We need major reform to prevent the role of money in determining who is free pretrial and who is not.
And we'll also take a stroll with this man who asked that we protect his identity. He's a retired lieutenant on the NYPD. He spent a 35-year career watching and sometimes enforcing bail policies that he says are unfair and always have been. Please stay with us. Our special edition of RFL continues in just a moment.